Morning, I'm Lynn and welcome to another day at Ewetopia Farms. So today we're going to move the bottle babies over to the coveralls. Making the journey, getting another ewe out of their jug, and setting up a new bottle holder. And to end the day, we work down some fields. So let's get started. So today I decided I'm going to bring the bottle babies over to the coveralls. They all come to me now when they need a bottle. And they're old enough to be eating creep and running around with the others and socializing. So I pulled out the two that were in the watch group that are not on bottles. And I put them in a hold pen because I'm also going to let out the ewe who had her single lamb today, and I figure they can stay in this big pen together just so that little lamb has company, and then we'll move them over later. But first things first, we're going to move these guys. So sometimes the hardest part is getting them actually out of their pen because they're used to being in here. And usually older lambs do move better than younger. Oh, and there they go. Older ones move much better than younger ones. Hi, buddies. Hi, you guys are going to go on an adventure today. Not that way. Okay, here we go. We get them onto the platform here. We guide them up the laneway. We got one mom who's really good. They're moving with the speed of pros. This will be the quickest moving ever. But like I said, these guys are a little bit older. So the moms are kind of confident with them, and so are the lambs. Whereas when we're bringing those 2 days old ones over, then the moms are very concerned about the lambs still. And the lambs are really nervous. Our bottle babies are the cocky ones. You too, buddy. Calamity. Come on, you two. There. They're all in. So they went into the older lamb group because I wanted them to be in the same age group. So this group is full now. We have 30 ewes in here and they're lambs. And the next bunch will be finishing off, filling off this group of the younger lambs. I've already fed bottles to these guys this morning, but this afternoon we'll come in and feed them the bottles in their new spot in the creep area, and this should be quite exciting for them. So Arnie's bringing over a bigger bottle holder, not because we have more lambs, but because these guys are bigger now, and they like their space when they're nursing on the bottles. So we have 6 bottle babies. And what we used we just used some 4.5-inch PVC plumbing piping. Put holes in it for the bottles and put a wooden holder on, which will connect to these gates around the creep area. So we got a few little onlookers who are wondering what's going on. I'm going to go hold that for him. So he just screws the board to the back of the gate, and it's all set up. This feeder can hold a lot more lambs, but I'll put a bottle every other space, so they'll have more room at the feeder instead of being crowded. But they've never been in with a group this big, so They'll learn about lamb races, and I think they're really going to like it in here. I caught these guys and put the red dots on their shoulders because they're going to be going into the younger group. They're old enough to go over now, but since there's one here with a single, I thought walk them over together so this one isn't lonely, and that little lamb will get to meet some other lambs before it goes into a massive group and is overwhelmed. We don't want you to be overwhelmed, do we? No. So the lamb's been tagged and recorded, and the mom is just getting her hoofs trimmed, so she's all set for the summer. And she's a Dorset, so you know what they are, strugglers. It's all right, honey.
Come on. This is so hard.
And once these hooves are trimmed, we'll give her a dose of ivermectin, dewormer. It's pretty well the only time that we have a set time for deworming. Usually we just deworm as needed. But after the stresses of lambing and stuff, any worms that have overwintered in our gut will tend to trigger at this time. So while we've got them, we deworm them. And she's all set. Just gonna bring her over and put her into the big pen now. Waiting at the end of the alleyway. Maybe a bit of a deterrent, but usually not. And here they come. Yeah, oh, you turned around, honey. You gotta follow your mom. So right now it looks like she's alone in her pen, but the other two are up here. So I came in for afternoon feedings, and the number 8s and actually the 23s came up as well. But one of the number 2s came back and one of them didn't. So they were all a little nervous to come to the new bottle holder. So I see that this is going to take some getting used to. But all except one of the number 2s didn't get their afternoon milk, so they'll just be hungrier for the nighttime milk. It was sticking with his mom, so feeling a little nervous. But everyone else had theirs, and little number 9 came to see what they were up to. So while I was talking to you about the bottle babies, there was a lamb crying in the background the whole time. It was a 29. So I knew it belonged in this pen because it had no orange dot. So I searched the pen for the 29 mom, and she was standing there nursing her other 29 and totally ignoring the one that was crying. So I kind of shooed her over to the lamb, and she called the lamb in at that point. But that's why it's handy, because a lamb crying, getting no response, usually indicates there's a problem. So for some reason, the mom just couldn't be bothered calling her in. She was feeding one. She didn't see why she had to feed the other, I guess. Oh, and here she is now. This is the mom with one of the 29s. But the other 29 was calling for her, and she wasn't responding. Anyway, it got sorted, but that's why the numbers on the back are handy. At this age, when I have one crying like that, I can figure out what's going on real quickly. And in the pen where we just released the lamb, that's the lamb there in the middle of the pen. It's actually hopping around playing by itself because the older ones are having a little nap under the feeder there. But she was hopping around enjoying herself all by herself. So that's good. But it's nice and calm and quiet in here, so these guys will be happy together for a little while until they join the big group. That's the new one. 2 days old. Are you having fun all by yourself? Yeah, you look like you are. Sometimes you can have as much fun on your own as you can with others. Right now she's all legs. And Mom's being protective, wondering what she's up to over there, so she's going to check her out. So we're over at the neighbor's property now. We rent this property. We got hay off it this year, but the back fields here were pretty played out. They were basically getting overrun with weeds and stuff. So we used Roundup and killed off the back field. Arnie's disking, well, I think he's got the offset disc out there, chopping this up, and then he'll disc it down, and we're going to reseed it. I believe next year it will be beans, but I'll have to double check that with Arnie. So that's our farm over there with our beans. Our beans should be coming off any day. We're just waiting for the combine to call us, and we'll be taking those off. So this is a pretty big field that he's doing. I'm guessing it's 25-30 acres. So it's taking a little bit of time. But if he does it now in the fall, he won't be planting anything. He's just tearing it up. And then in the spring, it will all be ready to just go straight in and plant it with a crop. The offset disc. My guess is he's hitting a few rocks there, which nobody likes to do. I delivered him his water. Now he's going to continue on. And the leaves are still here. Some leaves haven't even changed yet, and others are starting to fall off. It seems like it's a different fall this year, but everything still looks pretty. and should make for some really pretty combining of the beans photos. I expect they're going to be coming anytime. They were supposed to do us before our neighbor, but the neighbor's been done, so I'm guessing that we're next. Anyway, that's probably it for today. And I hope you'll join us again tomorrow for the next episode at Ewetopia Farms. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.